Hi, I hope you've already watched the previous two videos on infection control in your home with Regulation F441 and the survey process for infection control. And now we're going to talk some more about some other regulations that you will want to look at and understand to help improve your infection control in your home and improve your survey outcomes. I've been talking mostly about F441, but I do want to say that there are other regulations that you may see cited based on infection control problems. Unnecessary drugs at F329. We're looking for duplicate therapy in your antibiotic department. The influenza and pneumonia, those vaccinations or immunizations, they have their own regulation, F334, so you can take a look at that while you're in your books. And F371, those are sanitary conditions in the kitchen. Food handling, storage, and delivery will be cited at F371 if we find a problem. In Missouri, all long-term care facilities must screen all employees, volunteers, and residents for TB. So along with your handouts, I've put in some flow sheets that will help guide you through that process and what kind of screening you have to do, what kind of testing do I have to do, can I do a one-step or a two-step. That's all spelled out in these flow sheets. There's two, one for your employees and one for your residents because it's different. But we do, in Missouri, require that TB testing or screening is done. So you'll have that in your handouts. This slide pertains to the web address where you can find the State Operations Manual. The State Operations Manual contains a lot of information. It's huge, so don't click in there and try to print everything. It contains information about all kinds of healthcare, hospitals and hospice and on and on. But you will see at Appendix P is the surveyor's protocol, and we call it SOM for State Operations Manual. We use the SOM. It directs us in how to do a survey and all the portions of the survey. And then Appendix PP is there also, and that has all your regulations and all of your interpretive guidelines there. So please look those up and take a look at the regulations I've talked about today. Look at those interpretive guidelines. They really are very helpful. A lot of very smart people up at CMS wrote those. The next slide that I've got up here is the State Regulation Manual where you can find it. I have people tell me, oh, I've been paying for that book and it's online for free. So just get online and download these manuals and that'll help you out. I did put two separate websites here for you, and the first one is our Department of Health and Senior Services website. And we actually have the manual set up there in a form that we use in our office. It has a nice little at the bottom of each page, the effective date that we last changed those regulations. If you go to the Secretary of State's website, the lower one here, it's all there and it's the most current. No matter if we've missed updating something, the Secretary of State's website will have the most current regulations for the state there. But their little effective date is not the effective date. It's the last time they went into that page and changed anything, whether it was a comma or a misspelled word. So that's the Secretary of State's website. They have all of our state regulations. The Missouri sanitation requirements you'll find in that same Missouri state regulations, but I just put it up here separate because it does apply to every type of facility, whether you're an RCF or a skilled facility. And then at the bottom of this one, I also put in for the Food and Drug Code, which is referenced in those state regulations for your kitchen and dining. That food code was a 2005 code. Some additional resources. Some time ago, 2005 again, an infection control manual was created by the Department of Health and Senior Services and an advisory committee on infection and prevention and control. And I just want to give a little word here about that. That advisory committee had some folks on it from the St. Louis University School of Medicine and the Geriatric Research Education and Clinical Center. It's an excellent resource. It's very easy to use, and you can find things in it about C. diff and that kind of thing. When you should call, when do you need to call that might be a good place to look when you're creating those policies and procedures. Hand washing guidance, I put two separate ones in here. They are both from the CDC. One of them is literally a guideline, and the other one is a page that has offerings of training and that sort of thing. So if you can't get these to download right away, copy and paste them into the internet and web address and you'll have them right there. And that's all for me today. I hope I've been helpful and that you'll be able to understand your state and federal regulations a little bit better in the infection control. Thank you.